Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Jane's Fighters Anthology. For this morning's mission, we help defend the carrier battle group against enemy bombers. For this afternoon's mission, let's find out.
The Russians threw some large numbers at the Ukrainian defensive line and managed to breach it. Now we'll be undertaking a series of tank-busting missions which should help to slow up the momentum of the Russian spearhead. This will allow the Ukrainians time to prepare a counteroffensive. Arm your aircraft with Mavericks and GPs and proceed to the patrol zone. Once you're there, you'll be directed to the target.
Now, when he says GPs, I believe he is referring to general purpose bombs, which are the dumb bombs or iron bombs that we've been using throughout both campaigns. Down and dirty, USS Eisenhower, CBN 69, date May 21st, local time, 12:30 hours, weather clear. This is early enough in the day we might get a third mission. Situation. The Russians have initiated a frontal assault on the southern quarter of the Ukrainian defensive line. They appear to be in a good position to break through. The Ukrainians are requesting as much air assistance as NATO forces can provide. Mission objective: fly to the FIBA and receive target locations from a NATO forward air controller operating in the area. Attack the targets with available ordnance. Order of battle: recommended aircraft FA-18D, recommended weapons AIM-9M, AIM-120, AGM-65G, threat suppression data, ground opposition unknown, air opposition possible, MiG-27s, MiG-29s, and Su-27s. So we have two wingmen, and we'll be operating southeast of the city of Ivano-Frankivsk. I'm probably saying that wrong. And as we can see, the Ukrainians are still being labeled as Arab Egyptian. It must be a bug unique to Fighters Anthology. So we're going to roll in. We'll pretend we're A-10s for a while, and then we'll head back home. We'll take our trusty Hornet here. And the default loadout's actually pretty good. We have Mavericks for tank hunting, AMRAAMs and Sidewinders for self-defense, so we're just going to take an IR pod, and we'll fly with that. Let's throw up our radar so we can see if there's any air targets.
Contact, you're 12 o'clock flow, 9 miles.
Well, actually, we'll just keep an eye out for them on a radar warning receiver. Let's see, here's the runway. And we got a pair of bridges south of there. Looks like there are some armored units around it. Alright, they've just given us the coordinates to the FIBA, which they pre-programmed into our nav computer anyways. Attacked advancing tanks and APCs. They're crossing the bridge. So, there they are.
8 miles.
Roll in. Now, I did look up a couple of things from the last two videos. First off, the artillery we are attacking in gun bunnies are the 2S7, which is the Soviet designation. The NATO designation is M1975, and they're something like a 203mm caliber, so big guns, bigger than the 155s NATO uses as their heavy artillery. So they would have messed up the Ukrainians pretty good had we not taken those out. They're actually built on a T-80 chassis, so they're basically this minus a turret plus a really big gun.
4 miles.
We'll order our wingmen to start attacking. We do gotta be careful. I don't want to take out the bridge.
3 miles.
And he's right under it. And well, you guys have all seen how hitboxes can be in this game. We also gotta be careful not to hit Ukrainian armor.
2 miles.
And we gotta dodge fire from the tanks too. They're uncannily accurate, more so than they should be for armor. I mean, you'd think the standard gun elevation would go up only to, I don't even know, no more than 40 or 50 degrees, I'd imagine. Here, they're taking shots that are almost. Yeah, okay. So that was a direct hit on them, and it did no damage to them. That's because the bridge is soaking up that damage, so. And yeah, you can see how they're, I wish I could say they're pot shots, but they aren't. They're really close. I think they just gave them the gun that the, like the KS-19s that the North Vietnamese use, minus the altitude limitations. we'll use our 20mm to finish this guy off. It's about in real life, you wouldn't be destroying tanks with an aircraft 20mm. They just don't have the armor penetration. You could mess up the optics or external equipment. Maybe you'd track it if you were lucky, but you won't destroy it.
I'm taking a shot.
But they should be taken, like, basically being blown up by these Mavericks that we're shooting at, especially when they're a direct hit, so I'm not going to feel as guilty about that.
I'm taking a shot.
So the other thing I was going to talk about is the SU-24s that we fought in the last mission actually can carry standoff weapons. They can carry an anti-radiation missile and a more general purpose air-to-surface missile. That they both have ranges around 80 to 100 kilometers, so about 50 miles, give or take, 50, 60 miles. And so they could have launched further out, but most likely due to the limitations of the game that we've discussed already in depth, such as the lack of any sort of medium or long range air defense, or anti-missile capability for ships, or just the smaller scales that they're using. Between all those reasons is probably the reason why they chose to restrict them to close range.
I'm taking a shot.
Well, this bridge is almost dead. We gotta be careful. We also got
I'm taking a shot.
We have J-Star support. Oh, that's the other thing. J-Star, I said I didn't know what it stands for. It stands for Joint Surveillance Tactical Airborne Radar System. If I'm remembering correctly. Destroyed Russian man.
2 miles.
Okay, so yeah, you can see there how there's an explosion there. So we're gonna go after this tank. We'll try to limit the damage that we do to the bridge.
1 mile in range.
And that's the mission. So the Ukrainians should be able to handle the rest. And we gotta do this. It's obligatory at this point. Love our wingman missiles.
Contact. You're 7 o'clock. 5 miles. Please advise.
Okay. We've had our fun. So we're gonna head on out, and we actually see friendly aircraft on the area. Friendly A-10s, so we'll let them pick up the slack. We left some of the rear Russian guard intact, so we'll give them a chance to shine. Oh shoot, we have a bandit not far from us. MiG-31, so it's an interceptor. We do not want to let the A-10s deal with that, so we will close in on it. Is that our movement? It is, okay. Now, these guys can outrun us. I think they can go almost Mach 3, so we don't want to spook them until the time is right. But we also don't want to leave them around to mess with the A-10s either. So there goes our first shot. Looks like he's patrolling just a bit north. I'm actually a little surprised that the Russians didn't provide any sort of air cover to their artillery. They don't even have any sort of mobile, self-propelled anti-aircraft capability, which is really surprising since that's basically Russian doctrine there. So to have mobile AA integrated into their armored battle groups.
Turning left. Bullseye!
So we made him mad,
At 12 o'clock high. Turning
and now he doesn't care anymore. Interesting choice.
We got him now.
Well, if that's going to be the case, we'll save ourselves a sidewinder.
Just the missile.
It's a little low on fuel, at least for my taste, but I think we'll be fine as long as we aren't doing this for too long. Oh, hey, they put themselves in echelon. And we got it. So the A-10s are safe. And we saved our sidewinders and 2 Mavericks to go back to the weapon pool. And it looks like they aren't caring about the tanks at all. That's unfortunate. I really wanted to see them work. Oh well. We'll just head on back to base. At least we saved them. They must have been busting tanks elsewhere if they aren't paying attention to those guys. So now the long trek home. So I mentioned the SC-24s, I think, and how they can actually quick carry standoffs. I talked about the 2S7 J-Stars. So I looked that up and refreshed my memory on that. It stands for Joint Surveillance Tactical Airborne Radar System, I believe, if I remember correctly. I looked it up much earlier today than when I'm recording this. But that was the basically the E2 of ground targets for us. And then I believe it was mission hunting artillery, actually. And they're actually landing. Okay, so I guess they're operating out of one of the Ukrainian air bases that they're holding on to. Good for them. So we'll switch over to navigation mode. Doesn't seem like there's any real threat to us right now, which is impressive to say the least. As far as fuel, we got more than enough. As always, my concern is unwarranted. I like how they almost look like the turbines are spinning. The way they do that. You can see it better in the actual view. And his buddies are coming in for a landing too. So it'll seem a little nice when they're all together.
Bearing 145, descend to Angel 4.
Alright, 75 miles to the next waypoint. Buddy should be landing now. Oh, they're actually in tight spacing too. And I like how our IR gives us an all-around view. Like we have a helmet-mounted HUD, which in '97 we most certainly did not. Even I think only the Israelis and the Russians had them at that point in time. First generation of helmet-mounted HUDs, which are amazing compared since they significantly increase the angle of which you can launch weapons. Like right now, we have like a 15-degree cone in front of us. With helmet-mounted weapons, you can you increase that to like 45 degrees, I think, by itself. Which, if you can combine it with a high off-site bore weapon, think if I'm saying that right, order, off Foresight maybe, weapon like the AIM-9X, you can launch missiles at targets that are basically flying next to you. It's pretty cool what they can do. And pretty ridiculous at the same time. It's almost like something out of Ace Combat. Especially with the latest generation of missiles that's in development. So we'll lock onto the Eisenhower here so we can commence a landing approach.
Inbound.
Alright,
Echo,
so
bearing 61. Descend
down
Angel
to
0.
probably 35%. We do have a fair bit of extra weight with those Mavericks on us still. And our wingmen don't realize we're trying to land, so they're staying in formation. It always amuses me. Here I got my landing gear down. And, okay. I guess that'll be good enough.
Wind at 16 knots. Fire. Fire. Fire.
I love how basically we fly straight, your altitude will take care of itself.
Lower.
Alright, so we gotta
3
slow
miles.
down.
Lower.
Okay, there we are. We're losing
Lower.
altitude. It always does seem to get
Lower.
quicker. Yeah, our airspeed's still
miles.
decaying. So,
Lower. 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 Lower.
well, maybe not enough.
Lower. Call the ball. Lower.
Oh, I didn't have my flaps on.
Lower.
Oh, that would be why.
Lower.
Okay. We are on the ball. Disengage air brake.
Steady.
And fairly, I think we caught the last wire there. Yeah, I think we were the last wire there, but we landed. And we didn't have to go around for another pass. That's always very annoying. Especially since this game, now, U.S. Navy Fighters was originally made for DOS. And they ended up porting it to Windows. I don't know if ATF was originally made for DOS or if that was a port as well. That's here for a second. Couldn't see where I was going. I would think so, since they share the same engine. So even the base Windows 95 port on systems of the day was not always the most stable, and now we're compounding that by running it on XP inside of a virtual machine, Windows 10. Yeah, it can get messy. It's not unusual for me to have 1 or 2 crashes when recording. So now all we gotta do is wait for our wingman to land. I love the 2D pilots. Look, Mom, I'm flat. Yeah. But for its time, this game, the graphics of this game were amazing. I mean, when you think a DOS game, you think like Doom, maybe, which, you know, not something like this. So we'll let our other wingman land, and then we'll head over to our debriefing. And according to our infrared that is apparently seeing through the island of the carrier. Hooray for magic infrared, which can't see through solid objects. Not even, really even like glass, you know, it's enough to block heat. And he's gonna kind of park inside of us, but oh, look at that detail. I mean, I know it's not a lot, but look at that. Those markings. I mean, for a game this old, that's impressive. They even have like little little goggles there. You can see their hoses. They even try to give them patches, like their squadron patches. Oh my god. That's just, I know I'm geeking out here, but that's just awesome to me what these old games manage to accomplish. Like here are these little blue things. I think these are supposed to be windows. Sorry, I'll take off the nostalgia lenses now, and let's head to our debriefing. Debrief, USS Eisenhower CVN-69, date May 21st, mission down and dirty, resolution, success. Nice work destroying those tanks. You were lucky there wasn't much in the way of air defenses. Black and Sam's become a real nuisance when you're that close to the floor. And that's very true, and I was commenting on that. As it was, the tanks themselves were a huge nuisance. So we destroyed the 5 tanks that were threatening to breach the Ukrainian lines. We had a landing grade of 50%. Our wingman had a landing grade of 50% and no damage to any of us. So our wingman is continuing his trend of being awesome as he has in the past few missions. So that's good. We need more awesome wingmen. So we got 1 fighter killed to make 31. We destroyed 5 T-80s, I believe. And our wingman destroyed 4 assorted tanks, or what they classify as tanks, such as BMPs, T-72s, which actually are tanks, T-80s. You know, they were kind of attacking the rear guard. 2 others, I think we saw they killed a Russian man, which is basically in the game, man is basically an individual soldier, so yeah, so he spoofed their first AMRAAM. All of our Mavericks hit. One of our wingman's Mavericks failed. We actually had a fairly high gun hit percentage, all things considered.
Explosions thundered throughout the night and into the early hours of dawn as Russian artillery guns pounded Ukrainian defensive positions. The Russians currently hold a numeric superiority of roughly 2 Russian armored units to every Ukrainian tank.
These news reports are depressing.
Don't let it get you down. The situation on the ground may be bad, but we're kicking some butts in the air.
Yes, but aircraft can't seize territory. Where are your NATO tanks?
Hey, I overheard the old man saying that NATO pilots are secretly flying from Polish air bases. The tanks can't be far behind.
I don't know why they would need to secretly fly from Polish air bases. I guess, well, okay, actually, I take that back. There would be a reason in that it seems like the rest... They say that NATO isn't really in the war yet they kind of are, because we had a NATO air controller vectoring us towards these targets in this mission, so I think they're a little back and forth on that. If they're secretly flying from Polish air bases, that would imply Poland, which I believe is a member of NATO at this point, wants to support the war but doesn't want to open themselves to Russian invasion. So, and they did earlier in the campaign, they did say the U.S. would act first while they try to organize a coalition-style response. Think Gulf War coalition, or basically any war America's been in since Vietnam. But my understanding was that NATO was basically in on this at this point, but yeah, those tanks are coming. They do take a while to get here because they gotta ship them in from the U.S. because Europe has tanks, but generally only enough for their road bumps, essentially, until the U.S. can get in there and save them. That's kind of NATO's whole strategy, for better or worse. So they're supposed to toe the line until we can come in and push the Russians back. And that's probably what's happening now, is they're organizing the armored battle groups, and when the time is right, they're going to roll in from Poland and Romania. So we'll have that to look forward to next time. Since they gave us the evening squadron locker room chat animation there, or video rather, it looks like we will not have a third mission today, so that'll be it for today, and we'll see what the next day brings us. Well, the next day in the game anyways. We'll see you then.